David feels guilty for having a nice house while God does not have a nice house. David asks the prophet Nathan about it, and Nathan is all for giving God a nice house, but Nathan has to put his foot in his mouth. God says, "When have I ever asked for a nice house? David has too much blood on his hands, so instead, his son Solomon will build God's temple." David sets up a temple fund for the future. We then read about the Davidic Covenant. God told Nathan to deliver a message to David. "I will make your name great, like the names of the greatest men on earth. I will make a home for my people Israel. The Lord himself will establish a house for you. I will establish forever the throne of your son will build my temple. My love will never be taken away from him. Your house and your kingdom will endure forever before me. Your throne will be established forever." And David responds by saying, "Who am I to deserve this? How great you are, sovereign Lord. Your covenant is trustworthy. May whatever you have promised come to pass." We then read about David's battles. David had defeated the Philistines, but then he also defeated the Moabites. He allowed a third of them to live, and they paid tribute to him. David also defeated the army of Hadadezer of Zobah near the Euphrates, and he defeated the Aramean army at Damascus, and they paid him tribute. David, Jacob's descendant, defeated the Edomites, Esau's descendant, in the Valley of Salt. They became subject to David, in keeping with the prophecy, "The older will serve the younger." David made Joab general of his army, and Zadok and Ahimelech, Abiathar's son, priests. We then read about David and Mephibosheth. David asked, "Is there anyone still left of the house of Saul whom I can show kindness for Jonathan's sake?" He was told that Jonathan had a son named Mephibosheth, who was still living. Mephibosheth was lame in both feet. According to 2 Samuel 4, Mephibosheth was dropped when he was 5 and could not walk because of this. David returned all of Saul's land to Mephibosheth and gave him the honor of eating at the king's table, as though he were one of David's own sons. Now when the Ammonite king died, David sent a delegation to give his condolences. The new king arrested the delegation, shaved their heads, cut off the butt side of their robes, and sent them away. The Ammonites led their great army against David, and the Arameans joined them. David and Joab led Israel in battle and struck down their enemies, and the Arameans were afraid to ally themselves with the Ammonites after this. As you can see, David was responsible for the expansion of much of Israel's territory. This would later continue with his son Solomon.